Hello everyone, welcome to the Curious Technoid. In today's video, we will look at WebSockets. Websites in general work in the concept of request and response. You click something on the web page you're visiting, the server gets a request and sends the requested information back to you. This works just fine for most of the websites out there. What if the server wants to send information to you without any action from you? Say you have a website which shows the current price of cryptocurrency. Server should constantly send the ever-changing price of it. How do you achieve it? WebSockets. Well, before the advent of WebSockets, people used to use techniques like HTTP long polling to achieve this. Now we have WebSockets. WebSockets provide full duplex bidirectional connection between client and server, which enables the servers to send data to client without the need for client to request for it. To demonstrate WebSockets, we will try to implement a simple group chat application using Mojolicious web framework. Mojolicious has WebSocket support by default, which makes it quite easy to implement this. Without further ado, time to get our hands dirty. I have built a server in DigitalOcean for the purpose of this video. Let us create a default project using the Mojolicious Lite app. I'll say Mojo. Mojolicious provides a method called WebSocket to handle WebSocket requests. Let us add a route for that. Let's call the route WebSocket. Let us first add an inactivity timeout. If the user is inactive for, let's say, 5 minutes, we will disconnect the connection. We need to store the active user information. So let's use a hash for that. Let me declare a hash here. Let's get the user information. We will add the stringify transaction as the ID and we will assign the transaction itself to it. So all connected users will be stored in this particular hash. Now let's capture individual events. We can use the on method and we can define the events. Let's say when we receive a message, we are using C for controller, so let's stick to that. The idea is to send the name and the message from the client. So let's just add the logic to capture it. We will subsequently add a way to send those messages. We will say name, we will say message. We will pass a pipe separated message. Just passed as a parameter. Once we have the message, we will basically loop through the users and then send the message to all the connected users. We will send it as JSON. So we will send the name. We will send the message as well. We will also send the time as to when this message was sent. So let's try to get the time. Let's say we just need the time, so we'll use the time. We'll use the local time to get it. I think we will have to declare. Okay, so we will basically pass the time as well. Okay, so whenever we receive a message, we capture the parameters passed, that is basically name and the message. We get the current time and we send it to all the users that are connected. Looks good. Now let's also add an event to capture if the connection is disconnected. You can use the finish event. We will basically delete the user from our hash. So whenever a user is disconnected, we get his transaction ID and we delete him from our hash. So it doesn't send any new messages to the user. Oh, I think this needs a semicolon here. Yeah, I think we should be okay. I think the server side logic looks fine. Before we add the client logic, let's just run it and make sure that it is fine. I'll say Morbo simple chat app. Oh, sorry, Morbo simple chat app. Very nice. Line 20. Okay. What is the issue? I think this is the problem. Okay, let's start again. Yep, looks like it's running. Great. So now we will add the client logic. Let's go to the template index.html. Let's change the title. We will call it WebSocket demo chat group. I will first add a HTML element to capture the welcome message. Then let's have a hidden input variable to capture the name so that we can send it back and forth. We will add two forms. This particular form will basically connect to the chat. We don't want it to connect to the WebSocket the moment the page is loaded. We will basically give the user a input text where he can put his name and then click connect so that it initiates the WebSocket connection. Once the connection is established, we will basically have another form which will capture the message and then basically submit it. We anyways have the hidden name field to capture the name, so I think we are good. The moment user clicks the send message JavaScript function will handle it, and the connect to chat function of JavaScript will handle the connection to the WebSocket. We also need a HTML element to capture the messages that are sent. We will add a text area for it. We'll basically say text area. We will call it chat window. Oh god. We'll make it read only because it only shows the messages that are being sent by all the users. Yep, I think that looks okay. Alright, time for some JavaScript. We'll declare a variable for WebSocket connections. First, when the page is loaded, we will make sure that this part is hidden. So let us get the handle of that. We will say document.element by id send message button. When the page loads, the send button region is hidden. Now the first thing to do is to add the logic of this function called connect to chat. We will connect to the WebSocket using the route that we defined, which is basically WebSocket. The moment connect to chat is clicked, we need to connect to the WebSocket. So we say on open. On open is an event that JavaScript supports. So we say on open function event. What do we need to do? We need to add a message in the chat window. So we'll say document dot get element by id. It's chat window. We'll just display a message saying client connected. Alright. Next will be to parse the incoming message. So we are basically sending the name, the message and the time using JSON. So let's just capture that event. We will say ws.on message event. We will say function event. The response, we will say json.parse because it's a JSON response. We will get the data that is being sent, and once we get the data, we just have to display it. So we will basically display it in the chat window. So let's just copy this and we will display the message by appending it to the existing ones. So we'll say result, so response name, time, I think we gave it as time, think it was chat message or something. What did we give here? Chat message. Okay, chat message. Let's add a new line to it. There we have it. We will send the name with timestamp and then the message, and we'll add a new line to it. Okay, we will also have to handle disconnection. So let's say that on connection closure, we will display a message called disconnected. So we have on closure, on message, and on open event captured. Great. Now that we have our WebSocket requests in place, we will just add few other changes to the HTML elements. We'll capture the name of the person who has logged in, the connect to chat region that we don't no longer need, so we'll just remove that. After which we will also add a message. We had already declared this welcome HTML element. We'll just add a message saying that hello with the person who has logged in. We'll also add the name to the hidden element, and we'll also display the send message region, because now that is connected, he can start sending messages. Now that the connect chat function is in place, let's add the function definition of the send message function, which will basically send the message to the server. I hope this is the same name. Yes, it is. We will use the send event. We'll basically say send. Whenever somebody sends a message, it will call the WebSocket and it will send the message. We will send pipeline separated message, since that's what we're capturing. Once the message is sent, we will clear the message field. I think this should be good to go. Let's just fire up Morbo. I don't see any compilation error. Let's access a chat application. Let me open a browser. Let us go to HTTP 127. Okay, maybe we can increase this. Let us give a name. Yes, looks like we are connected. If I send a message, I will connect to this chat application from my phone and send a message. Let's see if we get it here. There we have it. Am I just talking to myself? Okay, that's weird. There we have it. We have just built a very simple chat application using Mojolicious and WebSockets. We hardly wrote 25 to 50 lines of code. That's what makes Mojolicious so easy to use when it comes to WebSockets. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please use the comment section below. I'll respond to you whenever I get the chance. The source code of this simple chat application is available in GitHub. I'll add a link to it in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, see you.